Welcome. This is Photo Op, the podcast where we talk about all things photo and video. I'm Ben Lucas.
And I'm Stuart Marlantis.
And this is Photo Op. So today on the show, what are we talking about?
Well, we're talking about some video and some photo. But I think first we have a listener question.
We do have a listener question. So today's listener question, does shooting with a phone camera count as shooting experience? I'm going to assume that what you mean is I've been shooting with my iPhone for, let's just say 3 years, because they did not specify. If you've been shooting with your phone camera for 3 years and you say, I've been doing photography for 5 years, does that count?
Is your phone shooting RAW? Then yes.
Here's what I would say about that is if you are an Instagram enthusiast who's just enjoying shooting photos with your camera, everyone enjoys shooting photos with your camera, and I'm inclined to say no.
I think it's about intentionality. Like, are you actually thinking about composition? Are you thinking about lighting? Are you thinking about all of those things? Then that's real.
Like there's this one iPhone shooter. I do not know their handle, but I know that they travel and shoot a bunch of like art photos of like a Route 66 and like the Midwest and stuff, and they just live in a van and shoot with their iPhone, and they sell prints from their iPhone. If you're that guy, yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
But yeah, I think it comes down to intentionality of, are people paying you? Are you doing this? Are you selling prints? Are you doing it as photography? Then if your iPhone is the tool that you have at hand, I'm inclined to say yes. If I have owned an iPhone and had an Instagram account for 3 years, I'm inclined to say no.
Yeah. I've seen some great photojournalism on phones. It's one of the classic line, the best camera is the one you have with you. Yeah, I mean,
thank you, Chase Jarvis.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and intentionality, I think, is pretty much it. If you're not intentional, then it's not real.
Yeah. So there you go. Thank you for the question. So our topic this week is video killing the photo star.
Probably not.
All right. But I think kind of the more of the in-depth is, do you feel like the increase of demand for video consumption, whether that is for companies or social media, is overtaking or overshadowing the need or desire for photos? Are photos being choked out in favor of video?
Right now, as far as brands are considered, I would almost say a tentative yes, actually, from my perspective. Because like you see all of the new big flashy, social media and like brand integration stuff that's happening right now, a lot of it, if not the majority, is video. It's streaming. It's stuff like TikTok that is all very video centric.
That's true.
Like stuff like the classic just Instagram feed. Heck, even Instagram itself is shifting a lot of focus into video.
That's another.
They have so many problems. but yeah, I mean, is it killing photo? Well, I'm not sure. Probably not. But is it a huge focus right now and maybe the main focus? Possibly.
I don't think it's killing photo in the same way that I've been saying for the last 10 years that mirrorless is not killing DSLR. Which to be seen controversial. But a video doesn't get blown up to the side of a box. Video does not get plastered up onto a billboard. A video...
Well, Times Square.
Yeah, a paper guy with a stick and a roller billboard.
Yeah. Not yet.
There are still a lot of things where you need good, crisp photo, and even though you can take a still from a video and theoretically do some of those applications, I still feel like they are different. There are different genres that require different skill sets. Where when I'm focusing on photo, I am focusing on details and lighting and lots of different nuances, versus when I'm focusing on video, maybe it's just me, but I'm not really focusing on those things as much as I'm focusing on the intentionality of the movement and the direction and the eye focus as the frame changes. What are you looking at? When you make a cut, where like, is it too jarring of a cut? Does your eye have to jump around the screen a lot? There's a lot of different things in video that photo doesn't have. I'm not inclined to say video is harder, but
It's different.
it's different, and there are way more aspects to it that if you do video, you can transition to taking photos very easily. But if you do just photos, there are too many things that you have to think about to do videos. So I feel like it's not choking out photography, but it's definitely like growing market share, so to speak, and that you should learn video.
Yeah, definitely should learn video. I think this also kind of depends on almost what age you are and kind of what media circles you run in. So, you know, if you're, I tend to assume if you're older and you're kind of more into more traditional media, even if you're reading something, you know, like the New York Times on the web or on your iPad or whatever, it's still going to be very like stills and text centric. If you're much more new media, if you're a Zoomer, everything is going to feel like it's all video all the time, and why even bother with stills? So kind of depends. We're millennials. We're kind of in the middle of that. So we kind of see both sides.
It feels weird saying we're in the middle.
Well, we're not middle-aged, but we are in the middle of the media landscape.
I understand. No, I've gotten chewed out by Gen Zers for not having enough content on my TikTok. That's
Gen Zers, newsflash, we've seen so many of these platforms come and go. You remember Snapchat? Probably
Vine?
not.
You remember Vine?
Yeah, you remember Vine? You remember Periscope?
Technically, Snapchat is still a thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of these are still a thing. I mean, MySpace is still a thing, but, you know, calm down.
It's not. It's not.
Calm down, Zoomers. Eventually, you will realize that these platforms blow up and then they fade. And so far, the only constant is sort of Facebook and YouTube at this point. Maybe Twitter. Instagram a little bit. But Instagram, I think, is being severely overshadowed by TikTok now.
Absolutely.
I think it's more in the flash in the pan space than Facebook wants it to be, or Meta. I mean,
I think
whatever.
I'm gonna call it Facebook. Screw that. I think if Instagram should really kind of stick with its core. If they are trying to compete with TikTok, they're gonna lose. I feel like the whole point of Instagram is beautiful photos. And if you stick with beautiful photos, then there's I feel like all these different social medias, they have different platforms and demographics and people who enjoy them or reasons for going to it. Like I go to Instagram to see cool photos of like people I follow and my friends. And TikTok, dog videos, at least for me. Like,
well, so I think one of the things that's interesting about this is a lot of like social media is a lot of these companies feel like we're only relevant if we chase the current trends and try to be everything for everybody, and that's not the case. Like, it's okay. It's easy for people to like choose YouTube for long form and choose TikTok for dog videos and choose Instagram for photos. Like, you don't have to be everything Instagram. You don't have to be everything YouTube. It's fine. Like, you can have your niche, at least from my perspective.
Absolutely.
But I don't run, YouTube, so I don't know.
You do not run multi-billion-dollar companies. No, that is true. But I feel like kind of bringing this back to our main theme today, because of the kind of uptick in all these different social media platforms that are focusing on video, it is imperative that you learn video. Yeah. Is video going to replace your photography skills? I don't think so. No. I think that you can shoot video, you can shoot photos, and there are places and trends for both. Like next week, I'm talking to a company who I can't say on the podcast here, but they saw my video reel and said, "Oh, we want you to shoot a photo campaign for us." So there is, there's
cross-pollination that can happen.
Cross-pollination, overlap. The skills, some of them kind of overlay, but there's still good money to be had in photos if you are a still photo photographer.
For sure. Yeah, the current hotness may feel like video, and you should learn video, but not to replace photos, just to augment your offerings. There's so many things that you can do with video that isn't just, 10-second TikToks.
Yeah. Well, especially if you do anything that goes into the print world, like this huge photo right behind your head of like, you can't take a still from a video and be able to do that. This is 485 megapixel photo.
Maybe if you're shooting on IMAX.
485 megapixels. I don't know how big IMAX is.
For those
I
casual
doubt it's that
IMAX.
big.
I think it's 70 mil film, at least for film IMAX. So it's pretty big.
Jesus. You know what? Fine.
When you're casually shooting your IMAX with your IMAX camera, okay, then you can take a still out of it. But if you're not,
Like Peter Hurley, once upon a time did a thing where he shot on a red, like 8K, and then he took a still from it and printed it in 8x10, and he couldn't tell the difference between the 8K and this.
Sure.
I'm like, of course not. It's an 8x10.
But if you're doing this,
yeah, if you're doing
need some resolution.
Prints, if you're doing billboards, if you're doing simple product photography, there's definitely still skill and artistry in photography. And that's fine. You don't have to dive into video, as I'm a videographer, but I think you should learn video for all of the things that go around promoting yourself and the companies that you'll be working for.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, you can still be a photographer. You don't have to jump into video, but like learn how to do video.
Video and photo is not mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
Do both.
Yeah, you can do both. Like I am primarily a photographer, but like we're doing a video right now. That's the thing.
What?
I know.
And audio.
Meta.
Audio's killing the videos, killing the photo star.
All right. So hopefully you guys found this interesting. Thanks for the question that kind of prompted this all off. And next week, we are going to talk about, do you need a style? Stay tuned for
Do
that.
you? We'll find out.
If you have questions or ideas for future episodes, you can email us at hello@photo-op.show.
Watch us on Ben's YouTube channel at Nom Creative.
As in Om Nom Nom.
Share this with a friend, and you can listen to Photo Op anywhere podcasts are sold.
Or download it. 'Cause it's free.